Let's talk really about where Jira, Confluence, the native Atlassian stack needs help. This is the part where the expertise comes in. User provisioning and access controls. You need to make sure you're only granting, like your groups are set up and your license access. Atlassian Guard is set up to only grant access to those who are cleared to have access to the HIPAA compliant, to have access to PHI. Making sure your auditing log and retention policies align with HIPAA compliance requirements. You have a mandatory 6-year retention policy for audit trail inspections, who access data, when data was exported, things of that sort. You're responsible for making sure your notifications for all of the apps involved are properly aligned. Some of this is outlined in that implementation guide, but things like you got to turn off your push notifications within Confluence. Email notifications for Confluence and Jira are already set up as long as you've properly tagged your apps to be HIPAA compliant apps, which is part of the requirement, then your email notifications will be HIPAA compliant. But in Jira, you've got to restrict if you set up an automation rule that sends out a notification via email, things of that sort that will bypass defaulted system email notifications. Restrict who can create the automation rules to make sure that they're staying compliant. JSM, you need to enable the safe customer notifications and the HIPAA compliant alerts. In Rovo, you should disable web search because there's a potential for PHI data to be leaked. Rovo, you can only use certain components of it. I talked about those in an earlier slide, but you can't use everything that Rovo has to offer. Your in-app search, yes. Your agents, yes. Your chat, yes. The MCP server, no. Command line, no. Those are things that you cannot use with Rovo in a HIPAA compliant instance. Any of the products that Atlassian offers that I haven't listed, Jira, Confluence, JSM, Product Discovery, and Rovo, are the only ones that fall under the BAA for HIPAA compliance. Anything outside of that are not covered in the BAA for HIPAA compliance. After implementing Jira for over 200 companies, we've seen the same failure story over and over. The Jira adoption started out small and then grew into a free-for-all mangled web of customizations that just didn't scale. If that's you, that's exactly what we help you fix. If you want help implementing or fixing Jira in a way that will grow with you no matter your success, hit the first link in the description below.